While Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden is off the campaign trail this week to prepare for the final presidential debate, President Donald Trump continues to rally supporters in battleground states like Arizona and Pennsylvania.
We have to show them, the Democrats, a thundering defeat on November 3rd. And if I don't sound like a typical Washington politician, it's because I'm not a politician, that's for sure.
The Biden campaign is far from silent, dispatching Democratic vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris to the critical swing state of Florida, where she said much is at stake in the November 3rd election.
Criminal justice reform is on the ballot in 2020. Climate reform is on the ballot in 2020. Everything is on the ballot in 2020. Joe Biden is on the ballot in 2020.
National polls show Biden leading Trump, some by double digits, but polls are tighter in battleground states like Florida and Pennsylvania. What happens in those states will be critical, says political scientist David Damore.
But at the end of the day, it's going to be, those states are going to be very, very close. And that's why I think you have this potential for a Biden blowout, but also a very, very narrow Trump victory.
Many polling firms are approaching this presidential election differently than in 2016, when relatively few predicted the Trump victory that was propelled in part by whites without a college degree.
The biggest error in the polling in 2016 was that the white electorate wasn't being segregated or being weighted, based upon education levels. And that turned out to be a really sharp difference between college and non-college. So you're not seeing that mistake being made this time. You also see in a lot of these states that Biden's hovering above or around 50%. Clinton never hit those 50% marks.
There are also fewer undecided voters this time around, giving pollsters more confidence in their data.
Under my leadership, prosperity will surge.
The economy is probably his strongest substantive issue, in the sense as he can make that argument.
There is so much on the ballot in 2020.
While Trump touts America's pre-pandemic economy and promises a swift rebound, Democrats continue to hammer Trump's job performance overall, as both campaigns urge supporters to vote. Elizabeth Lee, VOA News.